everybody. Lately we've been talking a lot about getting to know the notes on the fretboard in a truly organic and almost instantaneous way. And the reason for this is your ability to digest music theory is going to be so much more readily available to you if the notes on the neck are really, really solid. So what I want to kind of toss out there for you today is a little self-diagnostic test that you can do from time to time to see how well you actually know the notes. Now, again, a lot of players I ask, and students I'll ask them very bluntly, how well do you think you know the notes? And this is usually the response I get. It's something like, yeah, E, yeah, I can figure it out. And I'm like, okay, that hesitation and that sort of waffling around the question made me realize they probably don't really know the notes at all. So here's the test that I have presented a lot of my students, and I would suggest that you try it for yourself to see how well along the path you are in terms of actually getting to know the notes to make theory actually work for you in a painless way. The test simply is this. Take your right hand, index finger, place it on a note on the guitar, look at it and name it. G sharp, F sharp, D, C sharp, and E. That's what you want. That instantaneous recognition. Again, I liken it to being able to recognize the color of my pick or the color of the shirt that you're wearing or whatever. You don't hesitate. You don't want to hesitate in terms of being able to identify the notes. If you are at that level, then you are going to be reaping the benefits of any little bit of theory that you possibly could learn. From the smallest, most basic scale information or chord knowledge, it's all going to come to life for you if you can do this. So if you tried this, which, I suggest stopping the video and try it, see if you can do it. If you come back and you're like, yeah, I wasn't so successful, then that just means we need to work on a couple of things. And I'll show you again an exercise that I showed in an earlier video, but it's worth repeating, where what we're going to do is we're going to think of a single note. It doesn't matter which one it is. You're going to find that note on every single string, consecutive string from low to high, and we're going to do it to a beat. So I'm just going to say we'll do G sharp. Let's just say G sharp. Now, I've got a 7-string guitar. I'm going to ignore the 7-string for now because I understand a lot of players out there watching this probably don't have a 7-string. So to save time, we'll just do this on the 6 strings. Locate your G sharp. Well, we have E, F, there's G, whole step away. G sharp will be a half step up from G, obviously. Then you continue counting your way up, again, keeping in mind the whole step and half step paradigm that we talked about in an earlier video. A, B, C is a half step, D, E, F, G, there's G sharp on the 16th fret. At this point, now that we've identified the 2 G sharps on the E string, we're going to move between them in time. Set a beat. I recommend just tapping your foot. You don't need to whip out a metronome for this. And all you're doing is going between them, landing each note squarely on the beat. Eventually, this won't take you long to get good at. Next step, do the same thing on the next string. What is the next string? The next string is A. So count your way up until you find G sharp. A, B, half step to C, D, E, half step to F, G, G sharp will be 11th fret. Keep working your way up. If you have a 24 fret guitar, you're going to locate your next G sharp at the 23rd fret. So now you're going between the 2 G sharps on the A string in time. When you feel good about it, we now go back and we do both strings consecutively. So G sharp is on the 6th string, and then G sharp on the 5th string, and then repeat. And just continue the process. Go to the D string. D, E is a whole, F is a half step, G is a whole step, G sharp will be on the 6th fret. Count your way up again, right? And then you'll find G sharp here in the 18th fret. Just focus on that one string, then integrate it back into the fold, G sharp. And so on and so forth, right? Take it to the third string, right? G is third string open, so G sharp will be first fret, and therefore also 13th fret. Get good at it. Adjust your tempo too if you need to. If you find like you need a little more time to get, the eye-hand coordination happening on any given string, don't worry about how slow you need to do it. This is about getting the eye-hand coordination locked in, right? Until you get all 6 strings. Now, yes, it's going to sound like kind of a weird skip record version of, Purple Haze. That's okay. Doesn't really matter. You can even change the rhythm of it a little bit. Right? If you later want to get a little funky with it, that's cool. It's all in good fun. This is about singling out a single note and locating it in every position possible. The overall benefit of this, obviously, is whenever you need a G sharp. Let's say you're playing over an E chord, and G sharp is one of the notes of your chord, well, that's going to be a strong note you could hit, right? Any note that's in your chord is going to be a strong note. Let's say you're playing away, and you want to land on that major third found in the E chord, then you know where you are. No matter where you are, I've got a G sharp available to me, whether it's up here or down here. That's the kind of freedom and flexibility you want, because ultimately all of this comes down to your musical vision and actually playing what you want to play, not just what you might get away with or what, happenstance happens to dictate to you. So it's about taking control of your musical vision. I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but really, isn't that what everyone wants, right? We all hear cool stuff in our head, and we think, it would be great if I could figure out what that is and be able to play it. This is a huge step towards getting to that point. And I think you're going to find that the process is actually a lot of fun. And I will say this too, the first note that you choose to do this exercise with or apply this exercise to, the first one's going to be the toughest. It's going to take the longest because you still have to do a lot of counting. You're still going to have to count, figuring out your notes, and then go and do the work. After that first one, I think you're going to find that other notes aren't as tricky. They take less time, and the process becomes something that you're familiar with, so you know what to expect, and it kind of speeds up a little bit from there. But this is a great exercise I would start with, and basically, you'll never get too good at this. So keep doing it. Pick a different note every day and just keep going. And what you'll find is over time, down the road, without even realizing it, you're going to start to see the names of the notes light up for you. That's what it looks like for me. I used to just look at the neck and I would see strings and frets, and I would memorize my fret dots, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, etc. But I didn't really see any of the notes. The notes themselves didn't appear to me. But after doing this exercise and a couple others, it got to a point where everywhere I looked, the name of the note sort of jumped out at me, which is pretty wild. Again, kind of like identifying colors. You don't hesitate. So you know what to do. If you have any comments or questions, hit the comment section in the video below, and I got some more coming up on this topic as well. So have fun with it.